Central Valley Today.
Welcome back to Central Valley Today. So we are still in flu season, and in fact, according to the CDC, February is the month where the flu seems to reach its peak. Board certified doctor, Dr. Adam, is here with more information to help us stay as healthy as we possibly can. Hello, welcome, good. So I want to know, is it true that most of the hospitals in the Central Valley are booked because of?
I don't know currently if all of them are booked, but it is very true that the hospitals have been under strain. And most hospitals in the Central Valley, if not all of them, are at maximum capacity.
At maximum capacity?
Yeah, and it's mainly due to your upper respiratory infections, which are common this time of year, but especially influenza. We're seeing a ton of influenza. I don't have numbers for you guys, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
And so when we're experiencing these symptoms, when is it absolutely necessary to go to the hospital?
Sure. So, I mean, it comes down to the population. Some population patients are more vulnerable to any type of illness, especially flu. So these are like your chemo patients, patients that already have, bad immunity. So if they're taking chemotherapy, autoimmune drugs, prednisone. Obviously, patients that already have pulmonary issues, your asthmatics, your COPDers, patients with heart issues, cardiac issues. And then obviously your younger patients, your infants, pregnant patients are also, higher vulnerable. But as far as when to go, the big one is if you're hypoxic, if you're needing oxygen. Regardless of the etiology, if you're needing oxygen, you need to be hospitalized. So, I mean, how do you know if your oxygen's low? If you're somebody that has asthma or has COPD or has heart failure, I highly recommend you get a pulse ox. You can buy them from any store, Amazon, and that way you can actually measure your oxygen at home.
And why do you think we're experiencing this spike? Do the flu shots not do anything? Are they just?
Well, so the flu vaccines are not 100%. So the way they work, they're supposed to basically give you passive immunity, and it's supposed to reduce your risk of getting the flu. However, it's not 100%, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this year it was effective for type B influenza, but not type A. So we're getting a ton of type A.
Oh.
So. I'm not going to say not to get vaccinated, but what's most important, because we always say, well, we need to take medicines. So Tamiflu, which is a medicine for influenza, is only effective within the first 48 hours of symptoms. So I always ask patients, when did your symptoms start? They say, oh, it started last Thursday or started 5 days ago. Those patients shouldn't even be on Tamiflu. And the only patients that really helped, if you look closely at the data, are patients that had pulmonary issues like asthma, for example. So not everybody needs to be on Tamiflu. And antibiotics, I mean, you get a cough in your throat, patients call you, I want antibiotics.
Yeah.
I get texts all the time. So I'm not a mean guy, guys, but why take a medicine that you don't need? So the only time you really need antibiotics, if you're hospitalized, you're septic, you have a co-bacterial infection from influenza, then obviously you need to be on antibiotics. Those patients are getting IV. But somebody, let's say you or I get the flu, you're going to feel like crap, you're not going to have energy, but those patients don't necessarily need antibiotics. The problem that I see all the time is we get something called antibiotic resistance. So when you really are sick and you need the antibiotics, let's say, for example, you get strep throat, you're going to have some resistance to that antibiotic if you're somebody who keeps taking antibiotics over and over.
And so if the antibiotic properties, if they don't work in medicine, can people take natural alternatives like honey or something like
yeah, so the most important thing for flu, to be honest, and this is across any age group, is dehydration. So I mean, that's honestly probably one of the most important things you can do if you have any type of viral infection, especially the flu, is to hydrate well. So drinking plenty of fluids. So we get a bunch of patients that come in, they're just dehydrated, we give them IV fluids, they feel better. Tea with honey is always a good one. I always tell patients, if you're gonna have tea, mix it with honey. Vitamin C and zinc are good to take. Magnesium glycinate's good to take. But these are, in your diet's important, right? Getting sleep and rest is important. It's just the fundamentals, like we talk about every episode. Medicines are just a Band-Aid. They don't necessarily fix anything, and sometimes they cause more issues. So again, if you're hypoxic, let's say you have fevers, they're not getting better, you feel weak, you lose consciousness, those are other reasons to go to the hospital. These are extreme cases, but the take-home point for this is to hydrate well and not to think, well, I'm sick, I have the flu, I need antibiotics. They're not in the long run beneficial in most cases.
What about nebulizers? Are those good?
Yeah, so nebulizers, I mean, the patients that get admitted in the hospital, they're all getting nebulizers, especially if they're hypoxic. But if you are somebody that has underlying asthma or COPD, then you should definitely at the very least have the inhaler or the spacer at home, even if you don't have a nebulizer. So definitely have those inhalers. A lot of patients that end up getting admitted, they're using their inhalers at home, but it's not enough. So they may need IV steroids, or they may need IV antibiotics if they do have a bacterial infection on top of the viral, or they're dehydrated, they need fluids. So those are your more extreme cases.
Okay, well that's good. Good to know. I love that. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course. Thank you.
Coming up, the